In 2058, a child took her first breath exactly as the matriarch took her last, sealing a dark fate. Born into the prestigious Igawa clan, her very existence was an omen that threatened their legacy. While her sister Asagi rose as a dazzling legend, Sakura was orphaned by her own grandmother's hand. This is not just a ninja tale, it is the saga of a girl who weaponized her shadow to survive hell. Witness the origin of the second blade, a warrior forged in a tragedy that should have broken her. Welcome back, storytellers, to the harrowing chronicle of Igawa Sakura, the clan's second blade. Her journey is one of immense suffering, unwavering loyalty, and an iron will hidden by a smile. If you are ready for a tale of sacrifice and redemption, hit like and subscribe to join our clan. We transport ourselves now to the neon-soaked ruins of a fractured Tokyo, alive with dark secrets. Here stands a young girl, desperate to equal the blinding glory of her legendary older sister. But the shadows of this city hold monsters far worse than anything she is trained to fight. Driven by an inferiority complex, she steps willingly into a darkness she is not prepared to face. Every neon light casts a long shadow, and within them, enemies wait to exploit her desperation. The stage is set for a tragedy that will test whether her spirit is made of glass or tempered steel. Living in the colossal shadow of the almighty Asagi was a burden that few could truly understand. By 2072, Sakura taught herself deadly arts in secret, yearning to stand beside her sister, not behind. When Asagi vanished investigating Nomad, Sakura's impatience turned into a desperate, reckless crusade. Ignoring the elder's warnings, she plunged into the abyss, tracking her sister to the Chaos Arena. There, the cruel mistress Oboro waited, a predator delighting in the arrival of fresh, naive prey. Sakura fought valiantly, her unrefined skills clashing against seasoned killers in a brutal display. Defeated and captured, she was subjected to biomodifications designed to shatter her sanity. She became a pawn used to torment the sister she sought to save, a cruel twist of her noble intent. Yet, in the dungeon's depth, she did not break. She honed her shadow art, waiting to strike back. The Chaos Arena demanded blood, and Oboro orchestrated a final duel between the two Igawa sisters. Under the vampire king Edwin Black's gaze, it appeared the sisters were fighting to the actual death. But beneath the clash of steel, a silent, desperate communication passed between the two warriors. In a split second, as the death blow seemed imminent, Sakura dissolved into the floor shadows. Utilizing her secret art, she merged with Asagi's shadow, bypassing Oboro's hypnotic defenses. Bursting from the darkness, Sakura delivered a critical strike that shattered the enemy's control. Though they secured their freedom, the victory was hollow as the vessel perished, leaving grief. They escaped the arena scarred but alive, the trauma forging a new hardness in Sakura's young eyes. She had proven she was no longer a child, but a warrior capable of walking through hell and back. Years tempered her spirit, and by 2075, she found a volatile partner in the axe-wielding Murasaki. Their bond was tested when a mission led them to a laboratory of horrors run by survivor Sabato. Sabato, playing both sides against Nomad, captured the duo, raising the stakes to a lethal level. Sakura was fitted with explosive rings, her life held as collateral to force Murasaki's obedience. For weeks, she endured humiliation as a bargaining chip, yet trusted Murasaki to find a way out. When the traitorous Ingrid arrived to purge Sabato, the scientist detonated the rings in panic. In the ensuing chaos, a desperate alliance formed as Sabato fused with Murasaki to save himself. He healed Sakura's shattered body in exchange for escape, a deal made with the devil for survival. The trio limped back to Gosha, the trauma forging an unbreakable bond between the two kunoichi. Peace was a fleeting dream for the Taimanin, shattered in 2076 as they infiltrated the Dragon Gate. Disguised and vulnerable within Tokyo Kingdom, the mission spiraled into a nightmare instantly. They were ambushed by Saya, a biological weapon of immense power who knew their every movement. Separated from backup and cornered on a bridge, both sisters faced an overwhelming demonic force. Saya, accompanied by a clone of their nemesis Oboro, unleashed an assault that defied all logic. The capture that followed was more brutal than anything they had faced in the Chaos Arena before. The enemy did not just want their bodies, they sought to drive the sisters to suicide for despair. Sakura was singled out by Saya, who twisted their torture into a grotesque game of endurance. Days turned into weeks of psychological warfare, pushing the young Taimanin to the razor's edge. Every scream was recorded, every tear analyzed, designed to break the legendary Asagi spirit. Sakura was forced to watch her sister suffer, a distinct agony that cut deeper than any blade. The darkness of the dungeon was absolute, filled only with the echoes of their relentless pain. Yet even as her mind began to fracture, the flame of protecting Asagi kept her heart beating. She clung to the memory of their promise, refusing to let the enemy see her spirit completely die. Saya's cruelty knew no bounds, experimenting with limits that no human should ever have to know. The bond between sisters became their only lifeline in a sea of encroaching, suffocating madness. Hope seemed to vanish as the weeks dragged on, leaving them isolated in the belly of the beast. The enemy prepared for a public execution of their will, setting the stage for the final act. They were dragged out to face the masses, broken dolls meant to signal the end of the Igawa clan. But in the depths of her despair, Sakura resolved that if she died, it would be on her own terms.
The climax of captivity arrived under the cold, indifferent gaze of the Dragon Gate masses. Asagi, pushed to her absolute limit, was handed a blade in order to end her own life publicly. Instead, she turned the weapon on the Oboro clone, sparking a frenzy that stunned the captors. Saya, enraged by the defiance, unleashed a barrage of tentacle attacks meant to skew Asagi. Without a moment's hesitation, Sakura threw her body directly in front of the lethal strike. The blow meant for the leader pierced the younger sister, silencing the chaotic crowd instantly. As Sakura collapsed, bleeding out on the cold concrete, a primal rage awakened within Asagi. Believing her sister dead, the almighty Taimanin transcended limits, slaughtering Saya in fury. Sakura clung to life, her sacrifice buying the seconds needed for reinforcements to finally arrive. By 2082, Sakura had evolved from a student into a revered instructor, her body finally cured. But the fires of war returned when the Kanda Brigade launched a total invasion of Gosha village. With Asagi lured away, the defense fell to Sakura and Murasaki, standing against a mechanical wave. They held the line against powered exoskeletons, prioritizing student evacuation over safety. The battle was grueling, ending only when the enemy used captured students as human shields. Surrendering to save the next generation, the two friends faced brutal interrogation on servers. They remained silent until the end, proving their loyalty was stronger than their fear of death. Just as darkness threatened to consume them, Kokawa Asaka and Edwin Black's forces intervened. Sakura rose from the ashes of the ruined village, rebuilding a future she fought hard to protect. Igawa Sakura's life teaches us that true strength is not the absence of pain, but endurance. From an orphan child to a legendary guardian, she walked through shadows so others could live. She refused to let her scars define her, transforming every trauma into a reason to keep fighting. Even after every betrayal, she retained her smile, proving the human spirit cannot be broken. She stands not just as Asagi's sister, but as a warrior who conquered the darkness within herself. Her legacy is written in the lives she saved and the hope she kindled in the darkest of times. Thank you for watching this journey of resilience, sacrifice, and the power of an unbreakable will. Remember her story when you face your own shadows, and find the courage to stand up once again. Until next time, keep fighting your own battles and never let the world extinguish your light.